All right, man. Let's talk about Roy Jones. He talked about Crawford, Canelo, and what Crawford got to do. He says while running is stupid, and most of these guys, they don't really understand boxing that write these articles and stuff. Then they made a comment in this particular article talking about if he would have fought Corey Sanders or Lennox Lewis like that, he would have got knocked out. They don't understand boxing, you know. And I'll explain that when I'm ready to. So he said, why running is stupid? He says totally wrong. The first thing is, how are you going to move and run from Canelo? You're going to give him everything he wants. That's stupid, said Roy Jones the seconds out. That's right at Raheem joint. And asked Terrence Crawford should move to elude Canelo all night, September 13th. He said, if you run from the bigger man, you give him all the confidence he wants. Oh, all I got to do is catch him. He's running now. He don't want to fight. All I got to do is catch him. No, don't go there with that mentally. Had I went there with that mentality versus John Ruiz, he would have beat me. And basically what he's saying is you're giving him the mental edge, and then you're also giving him the leverage. You're also giving him the leverage. So when you move that way, you allow him to be on the front foot and be in attack mode. By you, pressing forward and putting them on the back foot or keeping them, off balance, by you keeping them off balance, he not sure whether to attack or not to attack. Kind of catch what I'm saying? You keeping them off, keeping them on that back foot. So he's right. What you want to do is you want to go to the puncher, and obviously it's a risk. But if you're coming to win, it ain't no thing. But you want to come to the puncher. You want to establish, that I can push you back, that I'm here to win. You moving. This Miles over here stinking. If you moving away from the puncher, you allow him to be on the front foot and be in an attack mode. And when they're in that attack mode, it's hard to change. It's hard to change or get him out of attack mode. He said, listen, I'm coming here and I'm going to tip the scales as a heavyweight, and I'm going to make you feel I'm a heavyweight in the first round. Buzz got to do the same thing, said Roy Jones. So this is what they said it at. It says, well, Roy Jones have chosen to mix it up with these two heavyweights, Sanders, and you still have to, say Corey Sanders and Lennox, you still have to establish respect. This is what he doesn't this is what they don't understand. Kovalev was the bigger puncher versus Andre Ward, but he had to take the risk. He had to take the risk with Kovalev. This is what they don't understand. You have to take the risk. You have to take the risk. If you move all night, they're gonna knock you out anyway. If you able to show them to establish some type of respect, if you able to, showcase some type of respect, you know what I'm saying? It's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. So that's why you got to step to the puncher. That's why when you see guys move and they get to moving like Frank Martin did versus Gervonta Davis, it was just a matter of time until he got knocked out. It was just a matter of time. So you have to step to him. You have to step to him. So I think a lot of people think, if you step to him, if you run for him, if you run for him, you allow for them to be on balance and be on the front foot to set their power up. That's why it's hard to really listen to a lot of these dudes who think they never been in a boxing ring and think they know boxing. They don't. You can't move from them dudes. You eventually gonna get tired or gonna get knocked out. They got all the confidence in the world. They dictate the pace. You moving, that exerts a lot of energy. That's what they don't understand. That exerts a lot of energy. So you establishing respect early on. That's the key. And if you go move, you got to be offensive with how you move. You can't be defensive. You got to throw punches. You got to throw punches. You got to throw punches. So you got to be offensive in your attack. And people say, well, you know, you're gonna get knocked out anyway. If that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But at least you get knocked out, you know, establishing respect. You have to establish that respect. So he got to tip the scales at 68. And this is what I disagree with. He's got to make you feel he's 68 when he hits the ring. If you don't do that in the early part, now you're going to have a problem. Now, I don't think he got to come in at 168. I don't think Roy Jones came in at 200 pounds. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think Roy Jones came in at 200 pounds. I think it was 190 something. But one thing you got to make him feel, you got to establish respect. Is what Roy's saying. And somebody that moved up 54, 60, 60, 60 to 68, and 68 to 75, and up to heavyweight to cruiserweight. Back, you know, he's moved up and down. You have to make them feel. You have to make them feel you a heavyweight. I mean, you got to make them feel that you know, for Bud, he's a super middleweight. But you don't have to come in as a super middleweight, because then, you know, what he's not saying is your speed is your greatest asset. Your speed is your greatest asset. Roy came in at 193. So basically what he's saying, you got to make him feel that he in there with a 68 pounder. So you got to have respectable thump and respectable confidence. You got to let him know that you can't come in here you can't walk me down without paying the price. That's the thing about it. Then you talking about you putting on so many pounds and you gonna move with that weight on you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna move with that weight on you. You ain't gonna be able to move like you think you really want to move. Kind of catch my drift. So yeah, he's absolutely right when he gets in there and he talks about you got to establish respect. If you get to moving already, then guess what? Guess what you seeing? What message you seeing? You seeing that I'm afraid, that I'm scared. That's the message that you seeing. Now you establish that respect, then you might get in your bag and you might start sticking and moving it. But early on, you gotta establish respect. Early on, you have to establish respect. So he's right about that. And I think a lot of these dudes who write these, you think you supposed to move, you don't move from the puncher. A lot of times you go to the puncher, you know what I'm saying, to take his power away. You go to that man. You try to push him back. You try to keep him on his heels. And then after a while, you try to keep him off balance as much as you can with feints, movement, in and out. Don't let him set his feet. But before you get into that game plan, you legitimately have to have some type of respect. And the respect may be I can just hit you, but you can't hit me. It don't necessarily got to be I can hurt you, but I can hit you and you can't hit me. And I'm going to hit you at will. That way you start to create some type of frustration. They start to reach a little bit. When they start to reach a little bit, when they start to reach a little bit, then it's like, okay, cool. Now you can start finding shots. They can start making mistakes. So they start getting desperate. So you really want to start basically establish the respect. You know what I'm saying? That I'm here to fight and I ain't scared. And then you want to create frustration. You want to create that frustration, but moving from him early on, that's not smart. Eventually, yes. But early on, you want to let him know you come to fight. He get on that front foot, he get to hawk you down, you put that weight on, you're gonna get tired. Yeah, he get to hawk you down and walk you down, it's gonna be a wrap. It's just gonna be a matter of time before he clip you. So that's what people don't understand. They think you're supposed to stick and move from the puncher. No. You really want to go to them and establish that respect. But let me know what y'all think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live, drop video. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Everything in the link tree. Join the Patreon, Free Game 89 channel. Check out the boxing news playlist. Peace.